the Prime Minister get into the conversation around lockdowns and anti-lockdown protests. They continue to happening across Canada. We saw a pretty major example, a rodeo in Alberta recently. It seems like Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has had enough. Here's what he had to say this week.
These protests are supposed to be about getting back to normal, but by spreading the virus, they do just the opposite and prolong lockdowns. So follow public health advice, but don't do it for me or for any politician. Do it for someone in your life that you care about. Do it because you respect your fellow Canadians.
So, Nick, who do you think that message was actually for?
Well, I think that message would be for the minority of Canadians who are kind of vaccine hesitant. But the one thing that we have to remember is that everyone wants to put this pandemic behind them. Everyone wants to get back to some sort of normalcy. It's just that we have to have the realization that the only way that we can get back to that is if as many individuals as possible get vaccinated, and that we continue to follow the rules. I don't think, Rachel, that we're going to see, a big boom in vaccination and everything get back to normal. I think realistically, we'll have to continue to be very careful, wash our hands, wear face coverings, and be careful. To your point about the buffet, I don't know. I don't think it's good to be in the buffet business right now for the foreseeable future. So I think that's targeted at everyone, including people that are following the rules, and the minority of people that are just, it grates them the wrong way when they're told by the government to do this or to do that.
Yeah, and I think kind of flipping the idea of you want the restrictions to end, you don't think things should be closed, you want businesses to reopen, but the longer that COVID is spreading, the longer it's going to take for that to happen. So I think in another conversation, he also called it a bit ironic, which I think is worth noting. Keeping on the vein though, Nick, of the new normal and getting back to some semblance of normalcy after this and reopening things. The conversation around vaccine passport seems to be heating up even more. The government basically all but confirmed this week that we are going to have some kind of paperwork that you have to show if you wanted to travel abroad, at least. I don't think it's going to be something we'll see domestically, but looking at apps or some sort of paper or card that you'll have with you to prove that you can go abroad and travel because you've been vaccinated, or if you are from another country and want to come visit Canada, you also have to be vaccinated. I'm wondering, Nick, where things stand on vaccine passports. What have you heard from people about the level of support for this as something going forward?
There's a new survey that we've just released that we completed for CTV News, and we asked Canadians how they felt about kind of having documentation, vaccination documentation, in order to travel within Canada, in order to go to large sporting events or large gatherings. And about 3 out of every 4 Canadians are supportive of having what I'll say a vaccination documentation. The other interesting thing, Rachel, that I've seen in polling around the world is that as soon as you start to use the word passport, some people get their back up. That it's actually better just to say what it is, which is you will need to provide a proof of vaccination in order to do certain things, in order to travel from one region to another, in order to maybe go to your favorite sporting event, even if it's social distancing. And the good news is that a very strong majority of Canadians support having documentation in order to do those things.